Go ahead and bring the May 11th regular scheduled board meeting to order. Start with the approval of the agenda. Say the correct words. Is there any additions to be made?
Nope.
Do you have that grant on there?
These.
Nope.
The bottom one has a grant on it.
We don't typically.
I think it needs to be, everybody needs to be told about it. The one from dispatch.
Oh, for the
Yeah, because
okay.
so put that wherever you want it. And
I'll do it in my my.
Okay. All right.
Ma'am, I can't talk either.
Seven to heaven.
Madam President, I move to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it.
It's been a motion and a second. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Open forum. Negative ghostwriter. All right, we're going to move to 130, discussion action on the consent agenda. There's 3 items there: approval of the minutes, payment of claims, and donations.
Okay, so there's 2 additions to the payment of claims. They're both in the construction fund. Emily has that with it, and then all the charitable donations are she put a sheet with your packets as well.
Is there any questions? Any commentary?
I didn't see you earlier.
Notice for the school board meeting at 6:30.
You might want to update that.
Very good.
Were you looking for one, Matt? Did you say?
No, I think
Okay.
I just skimmed through it again because I didn't see anything earlier, but I think I'm good.
You one at a time, or?
You can do all of them if you want.
Do you only want to say who the donation?
Yeah,
One
you'll have to
separate
state who
effort,
the
yeah.
donation. I would appreciate if you stated who the donations were from.
Verbus Family Charitable Fund, Dwayne and Cheryl Verbus in memory of class of 59 for 2,000. Rojo Family, $450 for 5th grade field trip donation. Denari Solano Family, $100 for 5th grade field trip donation. And then Ed and Lee Kearns Athletic Fund with Ace Foundation for 2,000.
Pretty good.
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? You made the motion. Vote against it. Okay, we're gonna move to 131, old business. Discussion and action on the update of the construction project.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, this month, I'm sure you noticed we added, or actually here, let me share my screen real quick. Okay. Is it coming through as sharing as well?
Yep,
Okay.
It's on there anyway.
it's on there.
Perfect. We'll kind of walk through just each area. So area A, elementary. Right now, the biggest thing, we are transitioning, well, not transitioning, but continuing on with framing, not only exterior, but interior as well. We have the first floor framing ongoing with door frames and all that being set as we go. We are not able to start on second floor until really you'll see a crane on site tomorrow in that area. We'll be setting the rooftop units and all of the mechanical equipment on the roof. We typically wait on that second floor to frame until we have that roof fully loaded. So there's expansion and contraction in that second floor track system. So we want to make sure we have all the loads on there before we start. But you'll see a crane on site starting tomorrow and, May 13th and 14th. So that'll be Wednesday, Thursday. And then second floor framing will start after that. That will also allow interior rough-in to start. So mechanical, plumbing, electrical, and fire protection will also be starting as soon as we have those walls starting finished framed up. On the exterior of Area A, we do have, you'll see, the exterior coating has been put on. Let's see, these pictures are a little out of order. But down from the street, you can kind of see they're putting the air barrier on right now. The next phase will be the masons coming to start on the east side. They will be mobilizing on the 18th. So they're about a week away to get clear of the crane. And then they'll start on that east side, work their way around to the south and then the west and then a little bit on the north. So a lot moving in Area A and moving quick. So glad to get that going. In Area B, we currently have underground rough-in complete. All of our framing is currently in progress. Second floor, they went first floor, then second floor, and then starting rough-in or finishing rough-in in those areas as well. There are a few photos in here of Area B. I'm sure if you've driven by, you've seen as well. We have started on some of the window replacement out front. So those new storefront windows do look really good, put in place. This is kind of an action shot of as they were doing that work. And they will have a new front door as well, just waiting on, those doors are a little bit longer of a lead time. Low locker room roof is complete. I forgot to mention they are working on finishing up the roof in Area A as well. Like I said, we'll have all that complete and getting ready for dry end dates. Area C and D, that is the classroom / cafetorium and kitchen office wings. We were we were paused in that area. I'm sure you noticed for the Area E steel install. So we had Coldy had pulled off for a little while, so we could allow both cranes to start working to set those trusses. So they are back on site this week and prepping more footings and everything there. As soon as footings are complete, we're working on seeing if we can get steel rolling or if we're going to continue with underground rough-in, but trying to speed that process up as much as we can. Area E, kind of the big show that's happened since the last update is, I'm sure everybody has seen it, but we did have 2 cranes on site, a rather large crane between the VOAG and Area E. It's a 200-ton, 250-foot long boom in order to set those 4 large trusses. These were the largest picks on the project, so that was a big milestone of getting those things set to really kickstart everything else. Like I said, the heaviest, biggest pick on the project, so really, really a big milestone that we hit on that guy. Also, if you've driven by, I apologize. Some of these photos are a little from a few days ago, but if you drove by today, we do have walking track steel up. But since this picture's been taken, we do have metal decking, handrails sitting up there, so you can really start to see kind of what that interior is starting to take shape. We did have the locker room, which would be the wrestling room lid. The weight room slab on metal deck was poured on Friday. And we have a couple more pours coming up this week with the non-storm shelter lid as well as the walking track So we'll start seeing some concrete placements in those areas as well. And then, like I said, steel erection, HME has been doing a great job getting everything in place there. So let's see, I don't think I have an up-to-date photo. Yeah, so they've got kind of their intermediate steel in there. So the large cranes set these larger 4 trusses, and that smaller 100-ton crane set the intermediate steel, so they can kind of work their way across the building, and really went without issue. So that was great to see. Then here in the next coming weeks in Area E, you'll see exterior framing on the locker rooms. Gymnasium will lag a little bit behind it. And then as soon as we're able to complete those guides, you'll start seeing the roof purlins and the standing seam metal roofing. We're scheduled for early June to go on top of that gym. So then I don't have any photos of Area F, but I know with the end of school coming up, we are nearing the date for the VOAG renovation work to commence. So we do have our plumbers and mechanical, electricians teed up to come in and do cut, cap, make safe. And then immediately following that effort, they'll come in and start doing the necessary demolition. There'll be some concrete cut out for some underground rough in, as well as a little bit on the metal building for new windows and such. But the ultimate goal is to get that Area F turned back over by school. So you have that space back for school fall of 2026. Then one area I skipped over in Area A as well. If you can see the screen or if you have the pictures in front of you, this is the Area A retaining wall. Probably not the easiest to see from this side from the street, but we do have that retaining wall poured out in the back that we can touch on a little bit later as well. And then lastly, procurement. We are still getting materials every month, which is great, trying to have everything there on site before we get started. So as of right now, we have, like I said, all the steel is complete. We did just receive some models for our Area C and D joist and deck. That will be the last bit of structural steel to arrive, and that will arrive this summer as we're erecting Area C and D. But working through getting those items, and then we are starting to get a lot more of the finishes, such as we've got most of the light fixtures, lockers, a lot of specialties. We have had one delivery of door frames already. We have those sequenced out to show up on site as each area is continuing to progress. Trying to keep those as an on-time delivery if we can. But with this month, we had doors, frames, and hardware. Hardware is a big one that's stored here in CBS's shop. FEMA frames, so these are your storm door frames. Those are, we have those. They've been delivered, and those will go down in the first floor basement level of the gymnasium into the wrestling room. Brick and stone deliveries are starting to arrive. They've had those cut loose. So like I said, you won't really see it except for the south side because they're going to start on that east elevation and work their way around the building, but they'll get more deliveries of brick and stone as we get around those elevations of the building. And then we did receive first shipment of exterior metal panels. That was in some of the photos with the pay app, but they are protected in cases, and those will arrive as they're getting ready. Metal panels won't install until brick and stone is done, so we're not putting too many people on one elevation. But yeah, other than that, things are picking up. Expected a lot more work to start happening this summer. So things are looking good.
Can you elaborate on the quality assurance program? Like if a wall's in its right location, or if the electrical is routed correctly, who verifies that and makes sure that all that is correct?
So we did do BIM coordination on this entire project, so that every trade is working off a BIM coordinated model. So basically building it virtually, but as well as we're installing it in site on or in the project, we have Pete and Brian on site who are reviewing that, as well as we have our in-house QA/QC department that comes out and makes visits, as well as if we need them to walk them through any questions via FaceTime. But they're walking the areas, and then we'll also have state fire marshal as soon as usually do a 50% walk before we close up ceilings and close up walls. So they're looking at everything to make sure we're up to code.
So when you say virtual, so everything's digitized to lay it out in location, or?
Yeah,
You're
that's-
saying, Ooh, go ahead, Kevin.
Sorry, I was just going to jump in on that. So along with our drawings, we also have a 3D model of everything. It is all architecture, structural, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. We've been partnering with McCown and their team to go through the model, and each trade goes through and models within hours. And so matching up to electrical drawings. So, and then we've had several meetings to kind of walk through that, see if there's any clashes, to make sure that everything is placed correctly and at the correct heights.
Yeah. My question is how did the I-beams, or why did they have to get cut off over the locker rooms?
So we had, I think on the locker room, I believe we were about a 1/4 inch average to a 1/2 inch, a little bit narrower. We did have one with HME's fabrication. There's kind of a mix there. Some of their knife plates were not lining up, which was a fabrication issue, which they corrected. And then there was a couple, like I said, were a 1/2 inch shorter than where it needed to be, but overall within tolerance.
Thank you.
I want to give kudos to Kevin and his team as well. I know we threw a lot of questions and worked through this entire gymnasium process, and they did a great job at responding and helping us get the answers we needed. So like I said, felt like we worked pretty well as a team there. Hopefully, like I said, coordination issues as we get through there.
Yeah, thanks, Zach. Appreciate that. And we also did have structural look at all that too, make sure everything was meeting to their code and everything. So,
yep. So I'm not sure if you can see the screen or not, but I do have, like I said, the model pulled up. We're able to come in there and look at every bit of structure in there and take measurements if we need to. The guys out on site on their iPads can review this model in detail to make sure their MEP rough-in, fire rough-in is in the correct spot as it was modeled.
Hey Zach, can you update your screen share?
Yes. Let me try this again. Let's see. How about now?
There we go.
Okay. So this would be the east side of the gymnasium looking towards the weight room. And then let me see if I can. Oh. And then you can see the wrestling room down below. So pretty cool tool that helps pretty much everybody on site.
And all the subs can pull dimensionals off of it or whatever they need.
Through their like AutoCAD and how they detail through this, because this Kevin can probably elaborate more because I don't personally do modeling, but like through their AutoCAD or Revit, they go in and draw these based off the drawings, and then they all import them into one space. They can create shop drawings, get locations off grid lines, everything like that. We can come in here and probably put me on the spot trying to get a quick measurement of something. But if we need to go do a quick gut check on something, we can pull a measurement. Of course, it's not going to let me.
yeah, they should be able to pull dimensions and everything off of that, but we asked them to verify all dimensions through us and through our consultants as well. We want to make sure that we are in agreement with that and not just, relying on this model.
Yep.
We want to make sure that it's working with what we drew.
Yep. Sorry, this thing's going slow on me. But yeah, we only use it for reference. If we're going to go in and put something per place, we make sure to reach out to Kevin and his team to verify that it's the same dimension he's seeing on his end. Any other questions? Okay.
I'm good, thanks.
Oh, this thing.
Okay. Is that it for that one?
Yep, I think that is it for what
For
number
you?
is that? One just for A, and then I know Kevin and I have some items on B and C if you want us to roll right into that.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Let me share my screen again. Or if I can just share. I'm just going to share. Okay. So this was also sent out with the board update. So just, I know some of the last board meetings we talked about the wish list items. So just kind of wanted to give an update of where we are at on tracking some of these items. So just do a quick run through if you're able to see the screen or if you have it in front of you as well. We all know kind of where we're at, North Parking Lot. That one right now sits, it would have to be repriced out. We have not done so on that guy yet. Alternate 4, this kickball field, this one is kind of going in correlation with an item discussed in the OAC meeting with Lacey as far as, and Eric and Jeff. So where the kickball is currently shown, kickball field is shown on the contract drawings, potentially looking at playground space there, what it would take to regrade. That's just something that Kevin and I have to work together as a team, because that's one item that's going to require some design work. As far as fill. So working through, that one's kind of fresh. That was brought up last week. But working through the area and stuff like that to try and see what that number would be. But this number was based off of basically the entire kickball field, which had fencing, retaining wall, the kickball field itself. So that should come in less once we have that whole thing coordinated out. So next one is walking track surface. So as of right now, we do have just the polished or the sealed concrete around the track. So that is a concrete surface in the gymnasium. We do have, I kind of have this coordinated through with Interior 5 as well. But we are reaching out on pricing right now for the rubber flooring in the weight room. So seeing where we're at on that guy right now to try to incorporate that guy back in. And then Interior 13, that's cafetorium bleachers. That would be the telescoping bleachers in Area C. That was initially in there. But that right now we have not reached out for pricing, but that should be a pretty simple one to reach back out and ask for updated pricing. Just wanting to get through a few other items right now. With the AV package not being in there and being currently kind of worked through, one item I have on there is just the sound systems, working through that. So there'd be sound systems in the gymnasium, cafetorium, and weight room. So going to be reaching out on that one because that one will be pretty hot. Just with the gymnasium progressing is going to be the biggest guy on that list right now. And then some of these items that I have, you can see crossed out in red. A lot of those are already incorporated into the project. So was not accurate showing being updated into that initial total at 763, I believe is what it was. So for what we had listed. We wanted to make sure those were not, that wasn't an item that you were tracking that was trying to get in there. And then just kind of as what we are going through this. So there was an initial list of other items on there that was discussed. So there'd be painting of the ag shop, minor renovation in the ag shop, the greenhouse, and then a little bit more fill along the modulars on that north end, call it the northeast side of the site, as well as a number of items that we've been discussing in OAC meetings, and just kind of items that we can track and try to incorporate as we're moving along. Obviously, if they are hot, we'll make sure to make mention of that. A lot of these items down in this lower corner, like I said, we are tracking, we are currently coordinating on. There should be 2 and 3 pages on here. So I tried to show locations of where some of those added items are. If you have any questions on any of those, we can dive into them, but those are more tracking for the time being. And then this one is that playground area / kickball area that was discussed earlier. Yes, Kevin, is there anything additional on that you want to touch base on?
I just want to back up to the rubber floor at the weights. I know in the last board meeting there was conversations about how is that maintained, and what's the life expectancy of that. So I'm gathering that information and would like to get that sent over to you. And then I'm going to reach out to a couple of our past projects to see kind of a review of how they feel that it's performed and everything, just for a record here.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, wanted a quick update to everybody. No action needed at this point, but just want to let you know where we're at currently on that one.
Okay, thank you.
And then I think the last one, I guess, Kevin, ASI 11.
I have a question real quick, or kind of a comment about the kickball area, and maybe this is in addition to it, but the area between the existing locker rooms and the football stadium seats, has there been any discussion about making that either? Yes.
This area right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of talked about some of that, and maybe that's where we could place some of the basketball goals, or kind of some of the hard surface area.
Because one thing that probably needs to be on somebody's radar is the stadium needing repaired or torn out and a new one at some point.
I can update here. Let me just do this real quick. I'll just put anything. Are you saying a completely new grandstand, Jordan, or just repairs?
I wouldn't tag that on this.
I think it's something that needs to be looked at.
It needs to be, but not with this part of this.
I disagree. If there's money to do it, there's money to do it.
I don't think there'll be money when we get done with everything else.
Well, I don't know that.
I understand what you're
There's
saying.
no reason to think one way or another. There's nothing wrong with knowing what it's going to take or what it's going to cost.
Sure.
I honestly don't know if you could repair them.
Yeah, I know.
You said something about repair or replace. I don't think you could honestly repair.
It needs attention one way or another.
Yeah.
There's a note here that says USD to clarify size area for regrading. How large is space? I guess I would go back to what was presented to the community on space.
What are you reading? Where?
Yellow.
This, if you can see my screen still, it's this area here.
There was a square footage amount. I didn't pull that presentation up. I apologize for that, but there was a square footage amount that was presented to the community on all that to address the playground size decrease from down the hill to up here. And so I'd say whatever was presented to the community is what the size should be. I don't know if you guys recall that.
Yeah, I know we took the
Well,
Yeah, I know that.
kickball field part of it was taken out. So they're gonna have to dig so far into it.
Yes, I'm just saying there was a presentation of square footage, and that's asking for size.
But it was all just conceptual drawings too. It wasn't like, hey, this is what it's gonna be.
Well, as defined as to address the size of it down the hill. It was
Said-
clearly defined because I specifically asked the question, Jordan.
Yeah, well, the size, I mean, that, yeah, I don't know how to say that what was presented is, I don't have that in front of me, what it was.
So then how do you give that answer
Which answer?
of the question? How large of space?
Well, it's gonna depend on money.
See, we can look up the square footage.
Point.
Zach, do you mind if I steal your screen?
Yeah. Let me do that.
I would say to start with, that's based off of what was presented to the community. And then it might have to get hacked down from there.
But what was presented?
Well,
And there was a
again,
lot
I
of- there
apologize,
was a
I
lot
didn't
of-
go pull that presentation up.
Well, sure, there was a lot of different ideas that were presented.
Okay.
So which one did you choose?
I guess the one that was voted on.
You guys see my screen okay?
Yeah.
So here's kind of what was in the drawings here, and I don't have the square footage either, but I will certainly get that to see what, this area is, and then we also showed some of this for the parking.
Okay.
Yep. We can use that and base it off of that guy.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, I mean, also what needs to be done is just what makes the most sense. I mean, it doesn't have to be that exact thing either. If something else makes more sense than doing that, why not? Why would you not do it?
I'm not arguing that. I'm just
We
saying
kind of
the
are.
question is what size? That's the indication of the answer of this is where you start. What size are you saying? Just throw something out there?
Yeah,
the question
keep
is what size? So how do you answer that? It says USD define it.
Yeah,
So how do you define it? What would be your answer to answer that question?
what's the price per foot, I guess? I mean, it's gonna be, to me, it's determined on what the cost is gonna be.
I think what we'd like to do is, certainly first start off with what did we have before, and then I think we'd come back in and just really define the site and what that grading looks like. Because right here we're showing this large retaining wall, so I mean, obviously that's going to be expensive. So what can we do to minimize the cost on such a large area of retaining here and build more up into here? But we also want to make sure that we're getting with civil engineers to make sure that we're not shedding any of that water down towards the track. Or I think there's also kind of a waterway down through here. So that's kind of all the parts and pieces that we're looking at. And then I think we'll be able to present some options on size and help compare that with, what we had before.
Is that something we can possibly have for just next month in our packet?
Yeah, I can certainly try to work on that and get you some information. I think that'll be a good starting point. And then I think maybe that's what we're looking for, defining from the district.
Okay. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you.
In addition to what's behind the stadium.
So we do already have concrete back there. So if you're talking setting basketball goals and items like that. Is that what you're referring to?
Well, that and just the whole stadium, I guess. Making that whole area be redesigned for playground area, space that you're trying to put over in this side hill.
I think there's definitely an opportunity to do some of that. We want to make sure we've got our new transformer and then the grease intercept that's back here too. So we'll need some access. So being able to still access some of this back here with trucks and things. But I think we'll certainly look at what we can fit back there and how that can be best utilized.
Fair enough.
Our playground was asphalt, so
I was gonna say.
I still got score.
I just.
I mean,
Maybe
right
should
now,
go to
our
my
kids play, we have two
school, so I
four
have to-
square.
Yeah.
Areas that they would use all day, every day. And then two 4 sets of basketball goals,
It's gonna be an upgrade either way we go.
Use
Yeah.
all day, every day, all day. So I mean, there's
Mhm.
plenty of space back there to put something like that, and it'll be
It'll be fun.
and
We
pretty
currently,
cheap.
we currently don't have a grassy area as big as a kickball field. I mean,
Right.
that,
Yeah.
I mean, if it makes more sense to change the shape of that, with less grading, less retaining wall to get a playground area up there.
Well, I think your
Yeah, we-
playground area will probably be more utilized than your kickball.
Yeah, I mean, if
Right.
we're gonna do a
They go
kickball,
down the
put them on the football field,
practice field,
or
yeah.
a practice field. for-
Yeah.
I think we just want some grass to fall
Yeah.
down in.
Touch grass.
They're gonna be playing whatever they want to, as long as we have some grass for them to run around in. They'll find something to do.
Okay, is there anything else?
Yep.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay. I think the last thing was just an update on ASI 11.
Yeah. So I want to kind of touch base on that. As Zach and Taylor kind of respond to what the cost is of each ASI, we need to be showing a little bit better on what those are including. So wanted to bring that to you. As we submit each ASI, we also include a narrative that goes along and shows what exactly we changed on each sheet. We've got all of architectural right here, and then PEC also provides theirs as well, what changed on each sheet. So I'll go back to architectural here. So really in ASI 1, we submitted site plan updates and handrail updates. Those mainly consisted of showing
Molly, did we print those out? The ASI 11, there's a folder within the board folder. No.
Okay.
I will put
we were showing how the entry at the elementary changed as well as the high school as well. And then really getting more information to them on how this ramp works and the connection back to the VOAG. So that was one of the items in there. I'm going to go back to architectural.
Is there any way we could get that screen bigger? Thank you.
Another item that was in ASI 11, there were some conduits and everything that were coming up from first floor, some plumbing that was in this corner. Previously, we had cabinets that went all the way into this corner, so we needed to build out to encase those. So a change came about to the chase and then removed some millwork in this corner right here. That's on the second floor of Area B. And then the next one, we had a request to add a window into Office 138 in the district office. That is
That was requested by the I guess us, just with Lori, or like Lori's position is not full time all the time. And so a way for Emily to see if somebody comes in, because that would be like the clerk's office. So that was the reason for having a window in that spot.
So that was the major ones. The rest of this set is really interior finishes. We had a great meeting with Lacey and some of her staff on interior colors for the elementary and really kind of nailing down what that wants to look like. So these following sheets really just kind of show updating what paints are going where and then kind of the design to it. And then we updated some of the renderings to you just for reference. So that really is everything that was included on the architectural side. There was also electrical items. The electrical items included changing out some of the outlets to match with the kitchen equipment that was submitted. We had a few changes to make on that. So electrical followed through and updated their drawings as well to match what was needed for the kitchen equipment. And then finally, technology submitted that as well. We also had a meeting with Chandler to kind of walk through some of the data and the wireless access points. We tried to reduce some of those. We also added some data in some certain areas that were maybe missing or that we had thought about later along with Chandler. So that was really just kind of cleaning up their drawings to make sure everything was coordinated. And that was pretty much it in ASI 11.
Did you mention that you're going to talk about the cost associated with that?
With the window or the overall ASI?
I guess overall.
Yeah. Zach, do you mind? Do you have that information?
Yeah, as of right now, we have it out to the trades. We don't have official costs in. It's sent out, and they get 2 to 3 weeks to price everything. With this one, it should be pretty minimal as far as items that are being coordinated through, like what Kevin said with paint and all that. We have the paint colors incorporated, so that is usually not much at all. So nothing crazy there. The item right now, the one that we do have pricing back on is that added window in that office, and I think that came in much cheaper than I was expecting, but it was only $1,200 to add a window. That was not originally in those drawings, but as of right now, we are currently out for pricing. We'll have an update here in 2 to 3 weeks if there's any costs.
Anything else? Any comments, questions?
My only other question on, so on the wish list items is, when does that stuff need to be decided, or what team puts together what we really want or can do, and when?
Your question is when do those need to be decided on?
Yeah, and I mean, is it you guys? Are you wanting the board? Is it a team of board and?
Well, it's a change order, so it has to go through the board, right?
I know, but to decide which ones are getting picked here and there.
I think it needs to be a group thing.
It's a board thing because it's a financial decision.
Okay, so when are we having that conversation on which one we're doing, and
Well, I don't
when
know.
does it need to? That's why I'm asking. I mean, he said the sound system is something that should be decided soon.
So we can review the schedule and get some better dates over. Kind of like a lot of the items that are on there, like the door changes and that. those are a few week lead time, so nothing. Those can be done really at any time. Say if there's a VOAG changing 3 doors on the east side, something like that. I know the greenhouse is an item. That one is going to require some design work in there. It's really not affecting the critical path of like the project to get done. Obviously, it wouldn't be completed this summer, but if it's incorporated in the project, we just have to coordinate when that is completed. Ultimately, if it's going to have concrete foundations or any sort of structure, we would just want to make sure that's in before like the final site paving is complete. But we can try to get better dates on some of those items for you.
Thank you. Anything else, Ramon? Nope.
All right.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks,
guys. Have a great
everybody.
night.
Thank you.
All right. We are going to keep moving. We're moved on to 132 new business. Discussion and action of the approval of the health insurance renewal from Blue Cross Blue Shield.
And we have Greg Lane online. He is a representative from Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Are you there, Greg?
Muted. Good morning. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Morning, good evening, and night.
My stuff is not nearly as fun as what you guys were talking about.
Insurance is always riveting.
Yeah, it's the best part, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's Greg.
Say that out loud.
Freeze frame.
Just before we start, oh God,
Did we lose you? Are you back?
I'm back. I don't know
Okay.
what happened.
You just paused. It's fine.
Yeah. Would you like to go ahead and just share the presentation and get started that way, or was there any questions I can answer before we get started?
Nope. Just hit it, Greg.
Send it.
Using that issue.
All right. Can you guys see this working for you? USD 105 page.
Yes.
It's there.
Everybody with me? All right.
Yes.
So, jumping right in, current rates and then the proposed new rates for the upcoming school year. Takes
Gonna be tough.
effect October
You're breaking up pretty
If
bad.
anybody can translate.
1st.
You lost us at jumping right in.
Everybody with me?
Yeah, the connection's real choppy.
We heard that.
We're just catching about every
Does that help?
There you go. Maybe.
Does that help?
Yep.
There you
Racer.
go.
Yep.
Okay, it's probably the camera. My beautiful face was taking up too much bandwidth. So here is your guys' current plan here on this where it shows your information. So can I scroll? There we go. So here are your on the first column are your current rates here, and then the second column are the proposed rates on the same plan. This being a grandfathered plan, there are no changes to the benefits design because of the grandfathered status. Grandfathered plans were initiated prior to the ACA coming into effect, or Obamacare, however you guys want to remember that. So when these ACA plans came into effect, they locked the grandfathered status plans into place, and they could not be changed anymore. And leaving this grandfathered plan, you would not be able to access it again if you couldn't come back to it. Okay? So moving forward, benefits don't change because they can't, but we are looking at a 14.36% increase year over year.
So the price can change, but the benefits can't.
That's right. Because costs go up, so premiums go up, and that's why. Moving on, this is your guys' utilization report. Let's zoom in on that just a little bit.
Is that in our?
Nope.
So this utilization report just kind of gives you guys a breakdown of what you're seeing as far as claims, dollars, and what the risk is of the group. Okay? So based off your experience period here of 3/1 through 2/28, you guys are looking at a projected loss ratio in line 7 here of 114% on your health and 94% on your drugs. So this is what we're projecting you guys to be at the end of your experience period plus the run out. Run out is always 6 months beyond the experience period for claims that take place in this experience period. Does that make sense? And the reason we have that is because drugs usually are pretty much point of sale and they hit the claims right away, but hospitals are notoriously slow for processing claims. So anything that's billed that's coming up that we haven't received yet, we do give hospitals a 6-month run out, but it's still for services in between your experience period between March and end of February. Okay? And that's how we get the projected loss ratio of 114%. And that's based off your incurred and paid claims. So we had payments out of $565,000 on doctors and hospitals, and then $70,000 on drugs. Okay. Your pooling is a threshold of $175,000. Now that's per individual. Okay. If you have an individual that hits this $175,000 threshold, you are not rated beyond that $175,000. Okay. You do have one member that has hit that threshold of $175,000, which is why your claims with pool adjustment is less. So you're actually being rated on that 527,618. Okay. Based off premiums and claims expense with pooling, we are projecting a loss ratio of 114% on your health side and then 94% on your drugs. All things considered after your guys' credibility and your rate adjustment factor, which is how we rate your plan as far as a risk is concerned. Your health is running the hottest at that 16.5, but your drugs is relatively flat. And when we average those out, that's where we get the 14.36. Everybody with me?
Sort of.
So what do we got to do to make it lower?
Eat your vegetables.
Not good.
Tell people they can't go
Eat
to
your
the doctor.
vegetables. That's a good
I
one.
want him to say it.
That's how insurance works.
I want him to say it.
But the walking track.
Wash your hands, Jordan.
So
I'm
this is
just
just a
saying, like-
breakdown of.
Numbers.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. It's insurance. They got us over a barrel no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, you just. Yeah, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. So based off your guys' history on here, you guys have had some hot years in your health loss ratios. Last year was relatively bad, 163% loss ratio, where we had a 27% increase. We all remember that. So we're still running hot in the health. That's why you're seeing the increase in your rates. Okay. If we can get that loss ratio down below that 100%, you're going to see your rates cool off with it. That's what we need to see. Okay. Questions? Moving on. Where did the dollars go? This is your guys' patient expense summary. So main line is always drugs. Drugs is always at the top because it doesn't break it into individual categories. It just says prescription drugs. This is what we paid out. Okay, so it's always at the top. Here's all of the health medical side we had. So line 9 was a high one. 102 in payments in miscellaneous medical care. Inpatient service and outpatient services both crested 100,000, and those were your biggest expenses. And this kind of totals it up again. So comprehensive major medical and your comprehensive, inpatient and outpatient were your biggest. That's where it breaks. It totals those up. Breaking it down a little further, claims in excess of $25,000. This is just a threshold we have set just to kind of show where your claims are going. So you guys currently have how many? 50, 60, 65 total on the plan. You have currently 5 members over their $25,000, and then here's the member that hit their pooling point. Okay, and this is not uncommon for groups. 80% of your cost is less than 10% of your total staff, the total count. If we do see more, if we get 8, 10, 12 people on this list, you're really utilizing your plan at that point. Questions? Group changes for 26. Like I said at the beginning, we can't change the benefits of the plan, but there are things that change just in the course of business and how we do things. With renewing the plan, you will get new ID cards this year, and everybody will get them. We are sunsetting our suitcase emblem on the cards. This was a visual cue for hospitals and claims offices when they submitted claims on how they did that. We combined those departments internally, and the suitcase emblem is no longer needed. So everybody will get new cards this year, and they are true new cards, so they have to be presented to every doctor's office, pharmacy, anywhere that you would present your Blue Cross card. The germline genetic testing for breast and ovarian cancer syndrome, the BRCA tests, have you ever heard of those, are now going to be available without prior authorization. Okay, so you can go and get those tests without having to run it through Blue Cross and Blue Shield first. And then a enhancement to the plan is Virta Health. Virta Health is a type 2 diabetes reversal program that is targeted to those members with that type 2 diabetes diagnosis. Okay. We are now offering it onto our grandfathered plans as part of the plan. It's not costing you any more or anything like that. It's just an enhancement to the plan. We weren't able to get this done last year because of the grandfathered status, but after litigation and getting the Kansas Insurance Association on board, our Kansas Department of Insurance on board, we were able to enhance that program to our grandfathered plans as well. So if you have anybody with that type 2 diabetes diagnosis, Virta Health is now available. What it does is gives them access to our education system for type 2 diabetes, along with some, with that education, you would get meal prep, disease education, ways to reverse that disease through exercise, diet, and trying to get off the medication. But it also gives them access to some supplies, things like testing strips and meters as well. Okay. Formulary is always on here. Drugs will move throughout the formulary no matter what. And with your grandfathered plan, you have the most broad and open and lowest copay formulary that we offer. But we did have to reduce our drug refill schedule down, and this took place at the beginning of the year. Last year, you could fill your drug at 75% of the time that it was scheduled to be refilled, but that was leading to a lot of overprescription of drugs and heavy stockpiles in people's cabinets that maybe weren't getting taken because they got changed or things like that. So we are now reducing that refill schedule down to a 9 days over 180-day rolling period. Okay. And that went into effect at the beginning of the year. I've been out talking to all of my groups about this throughout the first quarter here. And I really haven't had a lot of pushback yet on this, and really not any issues with people getting their drugs. It didn't change your formulary, nothing changed there. It just changes the window of time of when we're going to refill them. Okay. I did run some options for you guys just in case we wanted to look at non-grandfathered plans just to see if there were any savings there. This here would be a triple option to where we would be able to offer some different options as far as how we can give you similar benefits that you currently have, but with in the new market of post Obamacare, post ACA plans. Okay. Unfortunately, those plans are running higher than your current grandfathered plan.
What's the difference in your red and your black?
These would be changes to what you from the red changes would be changes from your current plan.
The grandfather plan is a pretty good gig, ultimately. If we go away from it, we got to stick with it, in my opinion. It's.
Any questions on these other than what's red?
I think this has been the same plan for a long time.
Okay. And then next would be the pages that I would need to change to these, which I do not recommend. I did run also, I know you guys have a dental plan outside of Blue Cross and Blue Shield, so I did offer to quote one out for you guys. This would be kind of one of my standard plans through Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It does cover 100% of all preventative services, 80-20 split on primary with some deductibles on those, and then 50-50 split with deductibles on the major things. And then, of course, what they're talking about between preventative, primary, and major. This one does have a $2,500 max payout per individual on there. and then of course their rates right here. You know, I got these for you guys just so you can compare them to your current. I think it was Delta. Is that who you guys currently have? Is that right?
Yes.
And then I also ran our plan that is our new direct competitive to Delta, and it's mainly because of that. I think they call it Fresh Start program or dependent care program. So we basically have the same plan that we can offer. Some changes in the splits, but we will cover dependents up to age 18 at 100%. So this is our plan that is a direct competitive situation as what Delta is. Once again, compare the rates. If it makes sense to make the switch, let me know. Okay. Once again, you would get access to our full Blue Cross and Blue Shield dental network, along with it being on a single card and eliminating some of that confusion. Okay. Your life coverage you currently have, no change here. Want to end on a good note. These rates are staying flat for you guys. No major changes to the plan whatsoever. So that's holding. Right now, you guys currently have our max payout on our life and accident and dismemberment plan, which is initial life of $50,000, and then if it's a death by accident or dismemberment, it doubles to $100,000. I did run a proposal here for voluntary life. So if you have some members that are kind of behind on their life, to increase that on a voluntary basis, I do have a voluntary life proposal available as well, to where they can up their own personal life insurance for their employee and spouse between $10,000 and $500,000, depending on what they want to do. Okay. I do have a minimum of 15% participation for it to make sense for you guys. So that's what I would need to enact this policy. It was 15% of your group to sign up. And below here are the rates. So gives you the rates per thousand for life and then accident dismemberment. And then what it would be per thousand. So on a sample, a member up to the age of 34, for an additional $10,000, it would cost them 80 cents a month. If they went up to 100, it would cost them $8 a month. Everybody with me?
Yep.
And of course, we don't get better with age as far as our life expectancy, so those rates come up a little bit as well as we go on. Everything else is compliance and additional benefits that are available. But for now, I've already went through those with Emily and Chandler. So unless there's any other questions about the health plan itself and those initial changes that I proposed as far as dental and life, that's the only other things that I have for you guys. Do you have any other questions for me?
Do you have any questions for him? Anybody have any questions?
Nope.
Okay. I think that answers all of our inquiring minds right now. Jordan's gonna eat his vegetables.
Well, I do appreciate your guys' time today, and I don't want you to get the impression that I don't appreciate these increases and how hard they are to stomach sometimes. But hopefully when we break it down and we're seeing what we're seeing as far as a risk side from Blue Cross or Blue Shield, it does justify it somewhat. I do understand though that increases are never fun in any circumstance. So I do appreciate your time today. And if there's anything else I can do to help explain this, please just let me know.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thanks,
Thank
Dave.
you. Y'all have a good night.
You
Yep,
too.
good evening.
He's got a busy household. Okay. All right. Insurance. What else? What do we need to do? We need to renew it.
Yeah.
You want a motion for that? That would help, Emily says. The health.
For health insurance agreement. I make a motion that we accept the proposal from Blue Cross Blue Shield for the reinstatement of the health insurance, not reinstatement, renewal of the health insurance policy.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. You're very welcome, but you better eat your vegetables. Walking lunches.
No, I was saying Chandler's my
That's
designated.
someone in insurance that you can't use till it goes up.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
I heard Emily's name at one point, and I was like, "Say what?"
I always like
Yeah,
to
he
figure
did
out what the family
Here it is,
deductible
that'll-
is compared to the individual deductible and how the individual family deductible doesn't apply to the individual.
Yeah, that's
He's got
funny.
another.
Pretty much
Anything that's
paying away.
invented
Darn
by the
him.
mafia is
All
probably
right.
not a good thing.
We're gonna move to the first reading of the cell phone policy, staff online activities, and then the AI policies.
There's 3 policies here. The staff,
A lot of reading.
student personal electronic communication devices, and the staff online policies. Those are both results to meet the new laws from the legislature. And then the use of AI, of artificial intelligence, that is just to get us a start with that. Just as AI is come more into use, there just starting to be issues with it, I guess. Is that the best way to?
It kind of gives us the flexibility for staff and teachers, kind of guardrails as, you know, we don't want to block AI fully for the kids, but kind of want to guide them correctly so that AI also kind of helps guide that conversation.
So for the personal electronic devices, so our policy that we had currently has to, with the handbooks, we have to modify that to meet the law. And basically the students aren't to have them during the school day at all. And there's a variety of ways that KSAB gave ideas on how to do that. It's between having them stored in lockers, between having teachers pick them up at the beginning of the day and pass them back out at the end of the day, to not allowing them in school at all and telling them to leave them in vehicles or at home, to having a central location where they check them in and out. And that the policy that we have here doesn't define that. That's going to get in the policy. This is getting this policy in place and then kind of figuring out how we're actually going to do it moving forward. So the staff online activities, Chandler and I attended. Chandler set this up. It's kind of like a group me based off of from our website, off of Aptigee, to where the district has some control and some safeguards of like classroom groups or teams or things like that.
Parents can communicate with teachers and vice versa. That way, I hear a lot of complaints, like when I go to lunch of, I really wish that you guys would have one app for everything. Instead of, well, now I have, two different kids and one's using Seesaw and one's using vice versa. And then
Mhm.
my phone's full with 5 different apps.
Well, and I thought we were moving towards, we were supposed to be, what was, I can't remember the name of it. What was the one that we just put into this last year that they were supposed to be using?
How's school going is kind of breakdown of bringing everything in from Power School.
Okay, so it's not a communication
Right, you
point.
can't communicate back and forth with it. We
All
can
right.
communicate out.
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
They're not able to communicate back.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they really need to work.
Well, and it's not even, it's not.
It's more like
single
a-
point communication.
Right.
It's more kind of a.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it does.
Mass
you get your-
texting or mass information.
They do
Kind
get
of
their,
like
their individual grades and that kind of thing, but it's not.
Right.
What does this say in there for staff and teachers and admin for cell phones? Does it have anything on that, or is this just students?
Well, I believe it states in there that you're not supposed to like communicate individually and things like that with students.
Or do you mean
What
more
about
like
Or are
possession?
you
cell phone use?
Are you talking possession?
Yeah, possessions.
I don't know that has anything in there about that.
I haven't seen anything.
I think it's more of
How
the
we use it.
staff side of you're not supposed to. It is now basically illegal for like if Lacey was teaching a class, she can't force those kids to join a Facebook Messenger or use Facebook or Snapchat or social media sites for assignments and communications. So it's kind of
Right. And then if I am on a group meet with students, for whatever reason, I have to have another adult on it with me, which we've done.
It's just
anyway.
common sense.
Just, yeah. Instead of me just communicating one-on-one with the student.
Is that what you were talking about, or were you talking about just the cell phones in general?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
in general.
I don't think that there is a,
I think this was just towards the students.
Yeah.
It didn't have any verbiage that I could see about adults. Because, I mean, we want the adults to have at least, in theory.
I mean, we do have our own cell phone policy in place of when they're supposed to use it and not use it.
Right.
To check it and not check it. So we can always look at that again.
How has the school year been with opportunities of cell phone usage?
For students or adults?
The
All in
whole
general.
picture.
I think at the high school it was way better. I think so there's, 95, 98% of the staff do a really good job of following it. And holding the kids accountable to not using them. So with it being, state initiated, it just puts that much more on it that, hey, we have to follow this, you have to hold the kids to it. Them not even having access to them, whether they put them in the office in the morning or leave them in their cars. I mean, basically that we put it into policy that if they're on your person, they're getting confiscated. It's the same as
Be in a
using it.
pocket instead of.
Having it on you is the same as using it.
I think my biggest issue that I have at the elementary is like the watches, more so than cell phones. Like the kids don't really, if they have a cell phone, they keep it put away.
And that
But
does include like
yes,
watches.
all of
and
this does include Bluetooth headphones.
Yes, the cell phone policy, it goes in,
Smartwatches.
defines it as all. So,
Which my question about the Bluetooth headphones is that when part of the list for school
Mhm.
is
So all of
headphones,
it
and
will
so
say corded
corded headphones.
headphones.
Okay.
Has been updated.
Yep.
Yeah, have to be corded. Like even if they bring one to school to just,
Send
so
it.
they can hook into their
Yeah.
Chromebook or whatever with Bluetooth, and that's against the
when
rules.
we,
Yeah.
yeah, same thing. It's like, can I use mine? No. Why not? Well, because we can see what you're hooked into if you're using ours.
Okay.
So who polices us that make sure we're following the rules?
Good question.
Is that?
We have to send the policy, or for sure we have to send our policy of the student one. I think it's by September. We have to send that to the state, stating we have the policy. Yeah.
Our personal policy, not.
I don't think we should wait till September to do it. That's a bad idea. School will already be started.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
No,
that-
we're, like-
and that's why we're doing this now is so we
Yeah.
can start updating the handbooks for the next couple of months.
I think it should be addressed, because I've seen it and then it's been brought to my attention too, but like even during programs, maybe staff abuses it a little bit too. I mean, it kind of goes back to lead by example. And everybody's guilty of pulling their phone out. Look, mine's sitting in front of me. So, I mean, it's just if we're going to expect that out of the students, I think we need to address that from a staff standpoint too.
Okay, you guys read through it? Are there any requests for changes? Since this is the first reading on all three of them?
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have to read through it a little more thoroughly than I have so far.
Well, you have till next month
I
to
do,
reread it.
and I
Okay,
will.
okay,
We
It's
will-
exciting reading.
I know.
We will start basing updated proposed handbooks based off of these.
Because this one, can we change this one? This is what's been proposed by,
Yeah, these have been proposed, but if we were gonna change it, I would recommend that we send it to KSAB to
Make sure.
Yeah, make sure that we're still in compliance. with
Yeah,
it.
I mean, like what that policy doesn't do is address how we
it says it'll be stored.
store it. How
How
are
are we
we,
gonna store it? What's that procedure look
Yeah.
like?
Well, and I mean,
what's our first policy?
you got a couple options. You put them in the office, which sounds like a giant mess for whomever's in the office. You got those pockets that lock down, which is a cost, but at least it's, and
that's
then,
up for debate too, whether that's actually.
Right, because
And
all
effective-
buy it, the kids
Right.
can buy a magnet to.
right, and I mean, then you always have there's gonna be burners, we all
Oh,
know
yeah,
that.
Right, and how do we police that? And does that come through us, or is that now a law that we just call in outside
Right.
enforcement?
Right.
Well, I mean, they're gonna have the opportunity to either leave it in their vehicle or put it wherever we deem is the place to put it. Whether they put the real phone or the burner phone, like I said, it's now an offense to have your phone on your person, whether you're using it or not. If you see a phone in your pocket, it needs to be confiscated.
Well,
because they're not supposed to have access to it.
and once there's lockers, it's a whole different situation. Next year's gonna be a little bit of a rodeo for you guys.
In your locker though, without a pouch of some kind, they still have access.
They still have access to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like a
don't think that's
Velcro. How does it say it? It says like a pouch that is
And,
that you can hear that's being opened.
but yeah, even on that though,
It's
the
not
pouch-
exactly how it says it, but that's what it's
Yeah,
meaning.
it's a loud Velcro pouch that when you rip it open, it's like one of those trapper
but they
keepers.
go in the bathroom by themselves and they open it.
Flush the toilet.
Yeah.
Needs to
Everybody's
talk
got coughs that day. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's,
Well, I mean,
I,
like-
I know what she meant.
well,
You know?
another
Those
thing,
were banned.
Yes, yes.
another thing that complicates ours is the open lunch.
Yeah.
Because they won't be able to have them in the cafeteria during lunch, but if they leave, theoretically, they're supposed to be able to have them for lunch. So we close lunch,
They're not in.
Lock everything down.
close lunch.
So then do we have to come up with
So they can't have. it during lunch?
disciplinary?
If they're off,
So if
If
they're
they're-
off campus, we can't do anything about it.
yeah,
No,
that's
they can have them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, but if they are checked in the office and now they're checking them back out and checking them back in,
Gotcha.
yeah, I think it's up to us.
and now nobody's going to school lunch because they all want to have an opportunity to be on
And
their
a
phone
lot
during the
doesn't
day.
outline what those consequences are. It doesn't I don't believe it even outlines if you're not following it, but it's kind of an open-ended one.
No, I think like our discipline procedure will pretty much stay the same. It's just now,
What is the procedure?
now, no, it's no longer allowed at these certain times. It's just not allowed. If you're caught with it, first time's an hour detention, phone's confiscated, parents come get it. Second time it's ISS, third time it's 3 days ISS. Fourth time you're required to turn it in.
I've heard some pretty drastic ones out there that go past ISS into suspension and expulsion.
I think that's getting a little.
It's a little bit
Extreme.
much. Yeah.
Just my personal
Well,
opinion.
and then
I've heard some of them talking about it. And I thought,
I know
Yeah,
it says
that's a little
IEP or
rough.
the 504 plan. So if you have anybody that's got a medical issue to where you have to have a
Yep, and we do have some that have their Dexcoms
Right.
around them,
right.
and it 504 even. I mean, if you have a note that it's
I saw it
medical
said it needed a
necessity for a
medical
thing like that.
necessity. Yeah.
we do have those.
Everybody's gonna have a glucose meter then.
Yeah.
My sugars.
Sorry, that's not very funny.
All of a sudden.
Okay.
Loophole's a loophole.
There is. Okay.
I mean,
Anybody?
but then also
I'd
to
look
think
for it.
in the process of all this too is
Absolutely.
activities after the school day. So on the bus to sporting event, on the way back from the sporting event, like what does that look like? And even with your headphones, like
So
your Bluetooth headphones, you're sitting on the bus to go play football.
I mean, it appears to me it has a during the school day, so
Committee, we're hopefully meeting tomorrow to.
All right.
Chandler, are you disconnecting something? This thing keeps beeping.
Somebody's.
It's throwing attitude, but it's staying connected, so
Okay.
it's the
Put yourself on way, Chandler.
You're not talking to it nice enough.
That's
You said it's what?
it's the AI trying to take over.
AI. And we're just talking about AI.
here we go.
All right, we're gonna
Let's go
move
down that
on to. No action on that. Approval for the K2 ELA curriculum. Discussion and action with prior.
That's why I have so many wonderful people here tonight.
Ta-da!
You're like, why are they here?
After a fifth day of fishing.
Yes, how was the fishing trip?
It happened.
Yes, with no snow.
With no
Jordan did not fall.
That is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Was there a concern?
I stayed out of the paddle boat, so.
Went very well.
Good.
Nobody fell in?
We had a few step ins
Yeah.
and falling.
I was gonna say usually you're at least somebody goes in a little ways.
Yep.
It's always fun.
So I'll start. We did have a committee together of some nice individuals that they were willing to try out all sorts of different curriculum this year. So we tried out 5 different companies, which was a long process, but we narrowed it down to really 3 that we liked the best, and kind of we met with those companies multiple times just to kind of hash out some different things. Our top 2, we have presented just the invoices of what it would cost. So HMH is into reading, but then it changes to into literature for year 6. They can do 6th grade for into reading, but if we're looking at updating our junior high and high school, we thought the 6th grade, because it does go through 12th grade. So, but that's into literature. So looking at that, we thought that would be a smarter option. And then the other quote is from McGraw-Hill, which was also known as Emerge, or in the past they went by the name Wonders. So, do you want to take it away on what we decided? The thought process behind?
You just buy it out.
For that grade level.
I do have something that I don't know. To
Right.
Can she?
No, it covers the whole, yeah.
Can she share her screen?
Oh, yes.
And are we back up and
Just
running?
gotta
'Cause I
ask.
got a text saying that it was down.
It shouldn't be
It said the live stream is working.
Well, we had at least one teacher from each grade level represented, and working in their classroom to pilot it and teach it with kids actually too, from our samples that we received. Pros, we liked the format of it, the manual. It had handwriting instruction for K2. The foundational skills, which we've had to supplement with UFly this year, had it followed our letters phonics lesson plan that they presented to us through those courses that we've done. It did have engaging content for the kids. Upper grade thought it was more, it kind of partially aligned to our science and social studies. And then, so that's ultimately over on the comm list too. And they felt like it was geared more towards K2, and we probably agreed. And it's brand new, so we were a little hesitant, like, no, we haven't heard other districts or schools using it as much. And it kind of felt similar to what we already have decision made. With into reading, we have lots of pros on that one. Very familiar online platform, our math we already use into math, so teachers know where things are at. It's similar, it just has the reading material in it for us. The students actually go home with a set of books every year, and they're called My Books, so that's what they'll look like. This is first grade sample. It has the quotables and stories that we read all together. You can write in them. They have places to answer questions about what they've read, and each kiddo takes that home every year. And I think they have, first grade has 5 of them. So they'll get to keep the stories and kind of build their own little library at home. I think, does that go all the way up? It might switch around 3rd grade.
Yes, I think that goes to 3rd grade.
Okay.
Because on the quote, we've asked for those materials up to 3rd grade. Yes.
It was aligned to our standards. K and 1 are really excited that we get our books. We get to keep those. We do like that.
They're like
We're looking them already. They're huge. The kids love reading them.
Big books.
And being read to from them. The new, I've looked at a version of this before, and they have updated it. And their foundational lessons, how they went through and they follow the letters lesson plan too, and it's very similar to Use Live, what we already use. So the kiddos would be getting quality instruction with that in K2. We like the pacing of it, how much we cover, when we cover it. Follows the science of writing more, which we all know is a biggie coming up, and we've been learning more about that. Engaging read aloud. It also has handwriting instructions, so they're all getting the same. Science and social studies alignment there, so we know that we're hitting those standards as well. Made for K6, and it does have that option for 6th grade to do the 7th through 8th. And it has a lot of lessons live already pre-made for us, so saving us some time on making those. And then the only one is con that we thought of was that there's materials to store for that, so.
And each of the quotes goes for 5 years, so that's all those like take home books that's already paid for the next 5 years with this quote. So it wouldn't be added costs for 5 years. So.
And this is one that we looked at the last time.
It was our top 2 from when we purchased.
But it was brand new at that time, and they've made a lot of updates and changes. Any questions?
We were asked to put it into 2 different purchase.
We did that just to help with it on 2 different budgeting years is the only reason for that. And I just, as we're going through the end of this year and into next year, it felt better to split it between the 2. That doesn't say that if we get to June and things are looking better, that we can't approve them in the June meeting either. I thought it would be prudent to do it that way. I am a little worried about getting everything here on time with the second one. That would be a con of doing that, but I think money wise, that makes the most sense right now.
You said
So which one are you leaning towards?
The HMH. Yep.
So you said they take books home every year with this one?
Yes.
K, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, something like that.
So it
So,
looks like it kind of looks like a.
so what
but it
happens,
has-
just out of curiosity, I mean, if this is one you guys want, this is where it needs to be. out of curiosity with that, what happens if you have a class that goes from 15 kids to one that goes to 30 kids with these books that go home?
So every year, these are our reproducibles that we send in our numbers for the upcoming class. So
And
everybody will
so
have a book
it's covered in
Mhm.
no matter
Yep.
what the number is.
for the
Okay.
5 years. You said.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I guess we didn't say too, there's books that are level readers, and so we
Yes.
will use, and that's the lots of materials to use. Besides just that, we have leveled readers for each K through 3rd grade that on top of the little workbook textbook, and then same thing with 4th through 6th. There's more of the what are they called?
And we brought our samples. If anybody wants to look at anything. That's what we got. It also included
The take and teach, and then what are the older kids?
like all the stories that go
Yeah,
in the
the
lessons
write-in,
too.
write-in.
Yeah.
Like the teacher stories to
So plenty of materials to choose from.
Well, I love that we're getting back. I mean, not that you guys weren't into books, but it gives, we're back to a little bit more hands-on, pencil and paper and.
It's the decodables for K2, and then 3 through 6 do the take and teach library.
Another thing too, like our current one we have is very black and white.
Yeah.
Very, I mean,
Not appealing.
not appealing. So, when you're also working with young children too, it's kind of nice that the stories have
You need
and
colors.
pictures,
Yeah.
and we're not having to reproduce those on the color copy machine, things like that. So that is a bonus as well. And the kids have liked that with the math.
You're all in agreement. This is the one you want.
Yeah, they voted. I mean, we had there was 8.
Yeah, we zoomed with them as
Yes.
well. And
Met every other week or.
Yes, and so between 8 teachers, this was the one that was their top on across the board.
Chose our top 3.
Yeah.
And all of us have this as one.
Yep.
How many, kind of what Tim was asking, how many students is this based off of per year? Am I reading this right? 31?
I gave them numbers for each class, and it maybe even says in there approximately how many is in each.
I see student materials on 2 different pages, and one's 28 and one's 31.
Yeah, so then that's their current number that they have in the class.
Okay.
Actually, I think I
But
added
if you had a
2.
fluctuation.
Oh,
added
never
2
mind.
for
I
each
see
one.
the grade.
Yeah, so whatever
Yeah.
grade level, I gave them our current numbers, added
I'm
a couple to
following.
it.
Right.
Yeah, you have a little fluctuation of ability there.
have a couple extras.
Right.
We gotta do student.
Yep. So, and I
see it
mean,
now.
they're current math people too, and so they're very easy to work with compared to some of the companies that we've
Right.
dealt with in the past. And same thing with math. We order our workbooks every year. Because like some of our classes have a volume 1 and a volume 2 of math, and so we get through volume 1, and then maybe on volume 2 we decide to pull some of those pages and just use half of that, and so then we make copies instead of needing a volume 2. We only order a volume 1, and they're very easy to work with. They just take my numbers and trust me on how many kids we have.
Maybe this has been asked, and maybe I don't understand it right now, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How does this tie into like the state testing? Does it correlate? Does it?
Yeah.
So
Does
when we
it?
talk about standards aligned,
Okay.
so the test is based on your state standards. And so if this is aligned with your state standards, then if the teacher is doing the materials that they're supposed to be using and getting through the whole curriculum, then
Should be prepped and ready.
They should be ready to
for
go.
us. Okay.
Our last one was not necessarily aligned well.
Okay.
There'll always be some that you have to do to meet the standards. Historically, they're made for like the bigger states, like in California or Texas,
Sure.
just because there's more. But I mean,
And they'll have weak standard, where you can add in some
Right.
more things, and then sometimes they do overkill on some standard. Like, okay, we've gotten an idea in detail, let's move on. But and we won't really know the first year. We'll have an idea, like they'll teach the whole thing and then you'll get a better idea. And that's where we found out with math, like some of those units are repeat. And if the kids have it, why are we repeating it 3 times? Same thing I'm sure will happen here, where you'll get used to the materials and what the students respond to best versus too much.
I know Lacey Rohr looked a lot into that, and she went through 4th and 5th grade standards to really make sure that most of it's getting what they could. And the lady that did our presentation, she talked about how it should meet most of Kansas. So,
Very good, thank you.
for the reading, yeah.
In this, in that quote, does it include our professional development?
Yes. All the professional development is included, and I think that's on the first one, the K2 proposal. And I think there's up to, $5,700 worth of professional development, which that's kind of up to us when I call her back on how much we really feel like we need, because that's someone actually coming into our school. It's not a Zoom, it's a person.
An actual
Here.
human being walking in the door.
Amazing.
Nice.
Right, so, and that is, I think that's, off the top of my head, I think they come 4 times in a year, which is, instead of you get trained one time and then it's,
Good luck.
good luck. Because there's always questions afterwards.
Yeah.
Break
Yes.
it down.
Yeah,
Like we could do
Come once and then you
K2 or K3 or,
start to figure it out, then you
Right.
have questions.
so maybe,
right.
I didn't have to sit through all of it.
Right, oh, and that's right, where they come in, do maybe an hour, whole group, and then go to your personal classroom and talk to you about your personal level.
Many breakouts.
Yeah, so
Good deal.
it's like they know what's going on.
What?
I know,
It's amazing.
it's kind of a relief.
All right.
So it's developed by an educator instead of a politician?
Yes, I believe so.
Nice.
Jordan has a question.
So just in comparing the price, which I'm all in favor of what everybody wants. However, a big difference is they're showing almost double the price for shipping and handling. Is it just because there's that much more stuff, or
That's my guess.
is it because
It's
they got it
probably-
broke down into 2?
I would say it would not surprise me just by the amount of materials that we would be getting with this, just with the different decodables and the take and teach libraries. They're calling them libraries. They send you 6 copies of each book to your classroom that you can do with small groups with.
And then continuing years, I would
Yeah.
think that shipping would go down significantly
Yes.
because you're only replacing what you used, right?
And those books she's talking about would stay in her
Yes.
classroom. That would be a one
Okay.
time.
Yeah. Yes, that's just a one-time deal. So we're getting rid of some of our old materials, and it's funny because we had what it was Reading Street previous, and they were similar. They had the decodables, they had like the library for your classroom, and people are wanting to hang on to those a little bit more even than our current one. They're like, I want to get rid of our current one, but there's pieces of our like 10 years ago with the decodables and different things that they're wanting to keep. It's so hard to get rid of books, but we feel like this is one of those things that's going to stick around and you're going to want to keep in your classroom, just because, I mean, children with decodable books is key to learning how to read. I mean, we've all had children that have learned to read, and that's where it's at.
Well, I'm wondering with the consumables that come each year as we pay shipping on those. Most
Right.
of the time, we don't. They
Okay.
just send what we need, so I'm wondering.
Good question.
Pay 4 or 5 years.
Well, that
I'm
makes more
thinking
sense then.
in-house.
Yeah, I mean, if you take the shipping out, then
We're
they're
closer.
really, $5,400.
Yeah.
So
They gave us like a much bigger number to start with as well, right, on everything. This is the one that's worked with.
Yeah, we
quite a
worked our
bit,
day,
like,
our way down with it. Oh yeah, we could ask for,
Isn't each one like 60,000?
yes, we could ask for much more. Like they have more to give, which is more of like the ESOL, like English second language type stuff, which we will be getting a copy of each and doing what we need to do with those too. But tabletop mini lessons that they have like the little boards and stuff that you can flip and not necessary. We've had it for our math and it's not used as
the way we
much.
used to do education.
Yes, right. Flip the, yeah.
Getting back
Which
to
all
it.
that material is online. So
Right.
yes, we have it. We could have another flip thingy, or we could just show the slide.
Are flannelgrams included?
Flannelgrams? Is that what you said?
Did I just give away my age?
Right.
I don't even know flannel.
And you're wanting to do the K2
Yeah.
now?
And then pending funding as soon as we can get the other one through. Yep.
So for 33,737.90.
Yep.
I move that we approve the into reading K through 2 for in the amount of $33,737.90, pending. What's the other called for next month? Right,
Next month or in July.
Probably July.
July. I thought you said June. So
No, I was saying if the budget.
I got you. Okay,
That's the only part that's pending. This is
Yeah.
the part that.
got you. So
Okay.
to approve that tonight.
I'll
That's-
second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you guys for all the
Thank
time
you.
you guys put into this.
Yeah, it was.
You look up flannelgram.
I'm gonna
You
look
take
up
the
flannel
link.
grams. I
Flannelgram.
am going to, Tim.
I feel like we probably have some.
There's got to be some around somewhere.
I know what room it's in.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we can keep moving. We're gonna move to the discussion action of approval of the summer food program.
Okay, just the summer food program. This has probably been the closest year to knowing if we could do it, and it's all to do with having enough staff to have it. But it appears that we have the staff we need. So it'd be Monday through Friday. We would start May 26th.
Yeah, the Tuesday after Memorial Day is when we typically start, and then we end the end of June, because then if we go into July, it's a whole nother application and everything, and our staff is
We
done.
talked about doing June 26th, just into the
Yeah, the 30th is on a Tuesday, so do we come back for 2 days, or do we just end it Friday? Vanessa talked, maybe we just end it Friday instead of, because then how many kids will come back Wednesday the 1st, and, just end it on a Friday and be done,
So May 26th to June 26th.
I think that's one thing I'll have to change on the application, because when I did submit the application, I did go to June 30th, so I think that should be.
I think I can summarize this up with: has there ever been a bad situation to not have? No.
We've
So
had
I mean,
a
it's
lot.
pretty.
And
It's been a great last year.
It's a great opportunity for kids to get in here before, after swim lessons, swimming.
Was it last year or the year before? There was like, it was a huge
Like
amount
100
of students
a day.
that came.
Yeah.
So
Last year was.
75 to 100 a day.
yeah,
It's
I think that's one of those
Really
that's grown every year.
Yeah.
since
Well,
we've
and
done
it's a guarantee for some of them that need this
Yeah,
as
they're
an
all-
outlet.
We have
So
daycares that come in and they bring their kids, all their daycare kids, which why wouldn't you?
right.
Because
And
it's 0 to 18.
yeah, 0 to 18. We have play practice that's running
Mhm.
around that same time, and so those kids that do play practice, they come in. A lot of our different summer camps, they try to run to make that work too, and so
Nope, that's
And
great.
we
Is there-
do, we are able, since we're in a rural area, to get the non-congregant approved. So you can come and grab your thing and go.
and it comes
Like
with a
if you-
snack too. So you have a
Yes,
meal,
pretty
you have a
much
lunch, and a snack.
Non-congregant.
Madam President, I move to approve the summer food program as presented.
which is May 26th to June 26th, right?
Correct.
I'll second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
Can we take a 5-minute break?
Yes, sir.
I move
Can you
that
give
we
me a
take a
motion?
5-minute break.
There you go. All in favor? All opposed? Okay.
Sorry. I'm on my phone.
Dang it, Eric.
Kaylee brought me a coconut cream pie the other day.
That's pretty yummy. All right.
That was pretty nice.
We good, Emily?
Yeah.
We good, Chandler? All right. We're back in regular session after our break. And we have admin reports.
Okay,
You get 3 minutes.
make it fast. Dana
Still daylight.
Cass contacted me. It's been a month or two ago, a couple months ago. The sheriff's office. Correct me if I'm wrong if I'm saying this incorrectly, but they wrote a grant, and it's basically a map of building layouts, entry and exit, safety equipment, things like that. And I believe these are for facilities around the community. But included that is a school. They were awarded the grant for it. The mapping would need to occur by next April or May, somewhere in there, which I've been told is like the school doesn't have to be completely finished by then. It like even at that point, it's beyond what it has to be done for the mapping.
So they mapped the building, you're saying?
Yeah.
So they know
all
where
they need,
to go if there's an emergency.
Yes. And so all they need to do is, even if they just have walls up and which class is designated to which class, what this is going to do is allow a map of the school, because it's just for our school then. That way, when somebody calls from this part, they know where, if an incident occurred, where they needed to send us, essentially, to send whomever.
I mean, even if it,
And we can have it initially labeled the way we want it. The way I see it is, instead of doing it by a teacher that could be moved or a grade level, we do
a room, whatever.
yeah. And honestly, the architects have kind of already done that for us.
Right.
And so we can change it as we go. I think it would be a $500 cost to us at that point if we wanted to change it. But I think that this is a good thing for us. They did ask me to write a letter to, or maybe they had one that I signed for them. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
And so very, very thankful for them for putting that together for us. I'll send everybody this copy of this letter.
How much was the grant for? Do we know yet?
I don't know. I can't remember what she said it was going to cost. The only cost that would be incurred to us as a school district is in future years, if you wanted this area to be, instead of room 1, whatever it is, if you were changing people, you could dictate that change of this belongs to this classroom or whatnot. But if you're just doing rooms, that's probably not going to be something that's necessary.
Or if you add on.
Right, exactly. And then it's just a fairly, and this is one of the more reasonable companies that would be doing this as far as what costs, as it had been relayed to me. That so it's just a great opportunity for us as a school to be able to assist in an emergency, essentially.
Let's see here. Last day of school is Wednesday. We typically do our staff meal and kind of retirement items on the next day, but that's league track, and so a lot of staff are going to be on with those. So we're doing those on Wednesday. We're going to have a meal right when we're on the board. We'd like to invite everybody for you guys to come as well. But it will start at 1:15 just because we dismiss at 1. And we need to have time for everybody to get here and things. The Clean Air Grant, we submitted that today. And we did that for the activity bus. we did run into a little bit of a snag as we were doing this. So we went to go, or Emily and Lori went to go find the title to the bus, and we found out we didn't have a title for it, and they did some checking, and apparently there's a lien on the bus from when we purchased it.
Yeah, but does it just need the lien release?
Yeah, and so
Nice.
the ladies.
So it's just being electronically held.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was processed today, so.
Yeah. I explained the situation in the
So we
grant.
have a snapshot of the.
Yes. So hopefully that'll work for the grant.
It's always an adventure.
So we did find one of the route buses are the same way, so we need to get that figured out. Or we don't know what the status. We just don't have the title in the
I was
folder.
like,
I like it. An opportunity
We
opportunity
purchased a
for
bus from
success.
you
Yep.
23 years ago. I mean, they pulled it right up. They're like, yeah, we don't know why that happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's been around.
the treasurer's office
Since
called.
we
They're
were
like,
in
well, there's
high
a lien on it. I'm like, what?
Excuse me, what?
I don't know what happened, but anyway.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Fun fact.
Breaking.
That's how that bus was when we got it, going down
Yeah.
the road in
I
January.
haven't dug into that folder.
It was
too
cool.
deep to find the
And that's the only two that we
Yes,
don't
we
have.
did. Went through all of our vehicle folders and
they took that opportunity.
there is one more that
For
is not
success.
in this folder, so we are looking into that.
Fantastic. Thanks for that. Kudos.
I mean, I just usually tell my banker to keep them. That way I don't lose them.
Right.
They're easy next time I need to get a loan on against one of them.
I think it'd be fine.
Might be the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
So that was what I had.
That's all I have to say about
Yeah.
Was it my turn?
Next.
Still daylight.
All right, cool. High school art attended the Fort Hays State University Art Show. Mrs. Brent said the show keeps getting bigger. There are 72 schools and over 1,300 plus art students in attendance. She had a great opportunity for art classes from across the state, and there were demonstrations throughout from the Fort Hays State Art Department. A lot of the kids to get lots of new ideas to try. They brought home 39 awards and third place overall from the show. So it was overall a good day. Creative Arts Club and the Atwood Arts Council hosted their local art show at the Shirley Opera House. There was a reception, senior night presentation for the art students, and the show was open to the public. Best of Show and Senior Artist of the Year were awarded to Xanthia Brand. Mrs. Klein, her 7th grade class is learning about the 19th century settlers of Kansas in their Kansas history class. And she said they were gifted guides from the Rollins County Appraiser. Their land measurement guides are available to the public as well. They're a convenient little magnet that you can get from our appraiser. So I did see she posted that on Facebook. Kind of cool. From Mrs. Erickson, her 9th grade class completed their biographies of people in Rollins County. They were assigned to call or set up an interview time, meet with their interviewees, and write their stories. She plans to keep this as a yearly project. Excuse me. She's had multiple comments from people they interviewed saying they really enjoyed the one-on-one time with the kids. 7th and 8th grade students are enjoying their pen pal project. Mrs. Erickson connected with a teacher from Good Hope School in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So they've been watching, it's been fun watching them share their letters and excitement. You guys hear them talk about how different, their daily life is down there compared to ours, So it's kind of been fun for them to do that.
In a tropical
In a
climate.
tropical climate, yeah.
You can't imagine it's different.
Yeah. We had our high school awards on Friday. handed out numerous scholarships. It's always awesome to see how much our community supports our kids and just how much money goes to our seniors for scholarships. So, just a general shout out to our great community and people that support through those scholarships. And then Saturday we had graduation. 32 wonderful seniors graduated in our packed little gym. My apologies for the live stream hiccup. Something with our app just wasn't working. We couldn't get it to go. So I get, moving forward, lesson learned, we'll probably try to have some redundancy built in there, whether we have a Facebook for a backup or something like that. But hopefully it won't happen again next year. So that's all I've really got. So we're wrapping up Fastbridge testing at the high school. And a couple days left.
Okay, I'll go. 6th grade students showed growth for the 4th quarter in their IXL skills, received awards from Mr. Lair. 18 out of 25 students showed growth for the entire year by 100 points or more. So that's an entire grade level of growth or more. So each grade level has gone up like by 100 points each. So they should be scoring in like the 600 mark area for 6th grade. So I know there's some students that were scoring in 1,000, like 900s and things like that. So lots of growth. He said that the range of growth was from 30 to 260 points for the year on some students. So fantastic. That means that they made up over 2.5 years of growth. Wonderful. 6th grade also finished the year with a field trip to Fort Hays Tech in Goodland and a field trip to SurePoint Ag and SurePoint Electronics. The class made some thank you posters for each business. She said both field trips were very interesting and well organized. So it's fun to go see the progress being made out there. The art show will be in the hallways for the public to see during the music program. Kindergarten, they went on a field trip to the McCarty Dairy in Rexford, and then they went to a teddy bear clinic at the Rollins County Health Center, and they visited the Good Sam nursing home to deliver May Day baskets for each resident and played bingo with the residents. They also hatched and released butterflies, and there were some praying mantises also, so they've been busy. 4th, 5th, and 6th grade successfully created 3D projects on Tinkercad with a 3D printer, and they were able to print them all off on the printer, which is located right there. Crystal Springs made it, 1st grade made it to Crystal Springs today. They had 2 previous days that were scheduled and could not attend because of the rain. So that was wonderful to have some rain. 2nd grade visited the museum last week, then went to the Kelly Park, and then went to Grassroots Garden Hub to do an activity down there. 3rd grade attended the Owls Trail activities. They have wonderful volunteers that go down there and do different activities with them, like Brenda Henry, Micah Johnson, Doug and Marla Reiner, plus many others that help make it into a great program for our students to be part of. 6th grade promotes tomorrow morning after the award ceremony at 9:30, and then we have a K6 music and band program tomorrow night at 7, and then field day is on Wednesday from 9 to 11:30 down here. And we'll be done. And then it'll be quiet and odd.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good Lord, your reports are done.
Admin, just say
Admin, thank you. It's been a long day. We're going to move on to executive sessions. There are 3 of them. First one, non-elected personnel hires, resignations, retirements, and transfers. Hello.
10 or 15 minutes.
Whoa.
15 minutes.
10?
10. I vote 10.
10.
So you need him.
I move that we go into executive session for non-elected personnel for 10 minutes. Still daylight.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded.
I'm all good with it.
10 minutes. Board and admin. Lord Jesus, have mercy on my ability to talk. All in favor? All opposed? roll?
I'm ready to roll.
All right, we're back in open session. Is there a motion to be made on the executive session?
Nope, moving on.
Wow.
Yes, you got this one then.
Well, Jordan,
You just volunteered yourself.
knows goes me and them.
I'll make a motion to approve the hires, resignations, retirements, and as presented.
Yeah, right there on the. Would you like to read them, sir?
No,
No.
it's too far away and I can't see it. Trenton Marshall for the elementary school PE teacher for hires. Jackie Van Lagerenberg for the elementary teacher position. Abigail Horton, high school assistant volleyball coach, and Cindy Wiley for driver's education teacher for hires. Resignations, Farrah Trail as a high school para, Stacy Brown, an elementary school teacher, Mandy Williams as junior high girls assistant basketball coach, and Katie Martinez in the kitchen. And the retirement of John Steiger as an elementary school teacher.
Ooh, I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. Next one is negotiations. How long?
2 months.
5?
5.
Still daylight.
Okay. Give me a motion.
I move that we go into executive session for negotiations for 5 minutes.
With whom?
Sorry, board and admin.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay.
I second it.
There's been a motion in 2 seconds. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
We're good.
We're back in open session. Was there any action on the executive session?
Oh, yeah,
Is there any motions to be presented?
No.
Negative Ghost Rider. All right. Let's move to the last one, which is classified staff.
10 minutes?
10 minutes? Gordon admin?
Madam President, I move to go into executive session for non-elected personnel, classified staff for 10 minutes, board and admin.
Correct. You're fine.
Second.
Okay. What are you looking for? Something wrong?
No, I'm just waiting. Like,
All right.
I'm ready. It's still daylight.
All in favor? All opposed?
There we go. Now you're good.
Okay, we're back in open session. Is there any action on that executive session?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the list of non-elected personnel certified staff as presented. Classified staff as presented, sorry.
Emily, I have updated that.
Okay, do you wanna print it?
Yes.
This is the exact same list. Yep. Perfect. All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried.
Madam President, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay,
It's
all in
not
favor?
deep enough, try it again.
All
I'm just trying to
opposed?
be quick.
All right, we're out of here.